All right, welcome to this video. My name is Taylor Benchard, and we're going to talk about how to hire the best people for your agency. Now, this is what we're going through right now in our agency, and it's going to be an extremely important video for you if you're looking to build a massive agency and grow as fast as you possibly can. And the only way to do that is to have the best possible people, absolute rock stars, A-plus talent in your agency. This is the only way you'll ever achieve big things is with people. And so your team is therefore one of the most important elements of your entire company. And so the thing that I've found is, one, a few traits to look for to know if this person that you're thinking about hiring is an absolute rock star, they're an A-plus person, and then a few probing questions that we ask, or I ask in the interview process to be able to better understand if they have these traits. Depending on the answers they give me to some of these questions, I will know if this is an A-plus person. And really what I'm asking, all the questions that I'm asking, is questions about what this person feeds into their brain. I want to know what this person likes to put into their brain. Essentially like a behind the scenes look inside their mind to understand what a good life is for them, and a behind the scenes look inside their mind to be able to understand where they want to go and how they've gotten to where they currently are in life. And so one of the questions I ask people, and then we'll get into the traits, is like, what does a vacation look like for you, a good vacation? And if you hear somebody tell you like, oh, I'd love to go to like Mexico, Cancun with my friends, all-inclusive resort, where like just like alcohol is all-inclusive as well, this is probably not somebody that you want to hire, and you want to avoid them at all possible costs. If that's like a party vibe type person that loves to just go out and get like completely wasted on a vacation, that's somebody you definitely want to avoid. So let's talk about the traits, and then we'll get into the questions you need to ask to be able to understand if they have these traits, to know if John here is the best person possible. So the first thing we look for is energy/passion. Energy I got from Warren Buffett. He talks about how they want energy, integrity, and intelligence. These three things are the only three things that Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger look for. I like to say energy/passion because, yeah, somebody might have a lot of energy, but do they really love what they're doing? When I started out in my agency, I had a lot of energy and really put on a face that I liked what I was doing, but I really didn't love it deep down. I was just excited about the entrepreneurship and the personal growth side of things, and I didn't really love it like too much to like what I was doing. So look for energy, but also passion in the thing that this person is going to be doing. And then the second thing is hunger to learn. I want to hire somebody that's like a relentless learning machine. That is what I consider myself. That is what I would consider anybody that I would want to hire worthy of coming into the agency to be, is a relentless learning machine. And this comes down to personal development, right? Like if somebody has like a lot of hunger to learn, they have a lot of hunger to become their best and highest self. And that is personal development, which derives from hunger to learn. And then competitive and driven. So you're competitive, right? Like you want to be the best possible. You are willing, and like basically you take fun in competing against other people, but you know that the ultimate person that you're competing against is you, because you can't necessarily fully compare yourself to someone else. You really are competing against those people for fun, and yourself very seriously against yourself. That's how I look at it. Driven, also a little bit different than competitive, but quite similar. Basically, just they're extremely driven to become a better person, to beat everyone else, to basically earn the most, to be able to produce the best results, etc. Competitive driven, those are quite similar. Coachable, this one's really important. If I don't want to hire somebody who thinks they know everything, I consider myself a student at all times, and there are times where I have to be a teacher to be able to coach somebody to be the best version of themselves. But there's times where I know that I cannot coach somebody on a certain subject, but everybody needs to be able to be coachable. Even myself, it doesn't matter who you are forever a student, and in certain cases you can be a teacher, but you're forever a student. And then the next thing is intelligent. Obviously you want to hire somebody that's smart. Like you don't want to hire somebody that is just the opposite of that, which would be stupid. And then the last one is relentless, which is, so it comes back to driven, competitive. If I can find somebody that's relentless and has all these other traits, I know for sure that they're like an A-plus, all-star, they're going to crush it. This one is hard to find. And honestly, I'm still willing to hire someone if they don't have this relentlessness in them, because very few people have this. Like absolute killers and like almost psychopathic people are relentless, and most founders and entrepreneurs are the people that have this factor in them. Steve Jobs is a great example. Jeff Bezos is ruthless, absolutely ruthless. If you read The Everything Store by, I forget the guy who wrote the book, but it's a story about Jeff Bezos' life, and some of the things, like Jeff Bezos will absolutely lash out at people if they make a crucial mistake or if they're not making progress, because he knows that they're better. And like obviously Jeff Bezos is just an insane person to compare to. He literally owns relentless.com, so he's quite a good example. So very few people will have this, but if they have everything else, I'll still consider them an A+. If they have this, it's like a wild card factor, and I know that they're just going to be insane. So how do you know if they have those traits, right? It's fine to just say, oh yeah, they need these traits, but how do you actually know? So I'll give you some practical questions that you can ask people on an interview call. The first thing I like to ask them is, why do you like XYZ? So our agency is an Amazon advertising agency. I want to ask them the first and most simple basic question, the foundation, the fundamentals. Why do you like Amazon advertising, right? Tell me why. And that person will tell me something like, oh, I'm really excited about, the world's largest e-commerce store in the whole world, and how much opportunity is coming, and how much the platform is evolving, and blah, 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 and I really want to be a part of this world and this movement, right? Then what I'll do is when they give me an answer, I'll just be like, why? Why do you really love Amazon and this whole movement and all this stuff that you just talked about? Why? And then they'll give me an answer like, well, because I really like the fact that with advertising you can be creative, and it's very results driven. You can get feedback right away, and this allows you to like pretty much improve yourself and know if what you're doing is working, if it's not working. And then I'll just be like, why? Why do you like instant feedback and knowing if what you're doing is making a difference or not right away, blah, blah, blah. I'll ask why about like 3 or 4, maybe 5 times, really just to get down to the root cause of why do you actually like this thing. Because people will give you the first level reason, which is very simple. Then they'll give you the second level, which is a bit deeper. Then there's the third level. Then there's the fourth level. And then you get to the root, the absolute core reason as to why this person likes this thing. And it always, from what I've found, comes down to something to do with like childhood and like the way they were raised, or something to do with just the ability to develop and become the best version of themselves, doing something that they genuinely have a absolute love and passion doing. But if you just ask why once, you never really get to the root cause. You got to ask why like 3, 4, 5 times. The next thing is I'll probe around, and this, I don't even know if this is actually legal. Like you can't ask somebody how old they are. You can't ask them how much money they're making at their previous job. You can't ask them about their relationship with life. There's a lot of questions that are illegal and you can't ask, but there's ways around it where you can get somebody to talk about a certain subject to understand it more without directly asking them something. If I can learn about this person's childhood and youth and how they were raised, again, I do my best to avoid that question because I don't know about the legality of it. Great, I want to know this because for me, I was born and raised playing competitive sports, and I was freaking competitive, and I played up to a level where it was semi-professional football, soccer, and went to Serbia, Belgrade to play, and I got a lot of my competitiveness from sports and leadership as well, because when you're playing sports with a whole other team, one of you needs to be the leader. On my team, I was the leader for years, and so that was like, that for me would be like, I would love to know that about somebody. If somebody told me all of that, I would be really excited because I know for sure that they are competitive and driven, and that one I can check off the list. So you can learn about a lot if you probe around in the childhood and youth. The next thing I want to know is pretty simple, like, hey, what do you put into this brain of yours on a daily basis? And this might be a weird question, but it's really important. I want to know, like, what are the books that they read? Hey, what's the last book that you read? When did you finish this book? When did you start that book? Why did you like that book? What was the impact that book had on you? And then what is the book that has had the greatest impact? Why did that impact matter to you? Why is it even significant to you? Have you had a mentor before? How has a mentor impacted your life? Podcasts. I want to know like the information that they have absorbed into their head that has resulted in the greatest output or the greatest learning experience or the greatest achievement that they've ever had, and I really want to know why. So I dig deep again to understand the inputs that they're putting into their brain. I like sometimes I'll ask somebody like, what's your number one favorite book and why? And they can't even freaking answer that question. They'll be like, yeah, like the last book I read, it was, let me think of the name. It's kind of just like drawing at a blank here. And they just won't have a reason. And that's like a huge red flag. I'm just like, whoa. Like, are you telling me that you can't even remember the last book that you read, right? And then if that's the case, I'll be like, all right, well, like, what's the most like crucial and important piece of information that you have digested that has absolutely changed your life in the last 3 months, right? I'll ask them that, or 6 months. And still, if they can't figure out like one thing, I know that this person is likely does not have much of a hunger to learn. They need to tell me some form of like piece of information that they absolutely love, that this is why they loved it. This is what like really inspired them to do what they did after, and the significant impact it had, blah, blah, blah. Sports and fitness, I like to look at these things again. Sports just comes down to competitiveness. If they played professional sports, if they just played sports in general as a kid, if they'd like to play sports. I like to know about that. Fitness, I like to know like, hey, like what do you have like any hobbies to do if you don't play sports? Like do you do anything else? It helps to know that the person like is in shape and they are not only taking care of their mind, but they're taking care of their body, right? Like I would be very hesitant to hire somebody that was extremely overweight. Now, if they had a condition where there was nothing they could do about it, that's fine. Again, you don't want to like completely get rid of somebody just because of their body. That's absolutely the worst decision you could possibly make. But if somebody's pretty fit, this is the side that I look at. If somebody's pretty fit and they take care of their body, it likely means that they're going to have a little bit more of this thing right here, energy, okay? I don't work out to have a nice body. I really don't care about having a nice body or having a six-pack or anything like that. I don't even really have like that nice of a body. I'm just kind of skinny. But I work out 3 times a week because I want energy. That's it. I just want this thing right here so I can put more time and focus into learning and growing the business. And so fitness is pretty important because technically the more fit the person is, the more energy that they're going to have. It's just basic science. Moving on to the next one, vacation. I like to ask them, what does a good vacation look like for you? If they tell you that they want to go to Cancun and get drunk for a week and go to a party, or go to like, what is that festival called that everybody goes to? Some huge festival with a bunch of like tents and everybody listens to like pop stars and shit. I'm just going to be like, yeah, it's probably not a good fit. And then biggest achievement, yeah, I want to know what's their biggest achievement. I want to know how big this person thinks and like really how far they've gone and what they deem their biggest achievement is. This could be personally, this could also be professionally. And then vision for the future. How do you envision yourself 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now, right? Again, you got to be careful on certain questions you ask because certain things are legal, certain things aren't legal. The next thing is why? I'm always asking why with everything. If somebody gives me an answer and they say, oh yeah, like vacation, I like to do this, I just want to go on a beach and just chill out. That's it. This is me. Like if somebody asked me what's your ideal vacation for a week, I would tell them that I would like to just like go to a beach and sit on the beach and maybe do a little bit of surfing as well and just read. Like I just want to really chill out and like read and spend a lot of time reading because I love reading. I feel like I don't read a lot, even though I have a lot of books. I would love to read more, like 2 books a week. That'd be great. And that's my ideal vacation, right? That's a good sign. If somebody told you that they just want to go on a chill vacation and like spend time reading or like doing some hobby that they like to do, like surfing or whatever, that's fine. There's no red flags there. It's actually a green flag because they want to spend time investing in themselves, right? And even if they told me that, I would ask them why. Why do you want to go to a beach and just read and just do surfing, right? And to that, my response would probably be like, well, I love reading. I don't read enough. 2, I love surfing. I don't get to surf enough because I spend like 70 hours a week working on my business. 3, I just work so freaking hard 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, every single day for 3 months straight that I really feel like to basically be the best and have the best mentality and like mental fitness, I need to take at least like some days off. And it's good if those days are chill days and they're not like exhausting days doing like a ton of activities, because I've just been like doing 3 months of relentless work. So that's like a really good answer when someone asks why, right? Like I want to know, why is that your favorite vacation? Why do you think you're competitive? Why did this book have a big impact? I'm always asking why, to try to get to the root understanding, the root cause, the root reason for why this person said what they said, and what the real reason is behind why they think that there's their biggest achievement, or why that they would enjoy this vacation, etc. So those are the questions that I'm asking to be able to really come down through here and understand if they have all of these traits. And then I'll just check them off the box. I'll just be like, okay, this person has energy and passion. This person has a hunger to learn. This person's competitive. This person's competitive. This person's intelligent. And honestly, what I do before I even do the interview process is, again, I don't just interview everybody that sends in a resume. I screen the resume. If I think the resume looks decent, I ask them to send me a quick video, basically just explaining why they want to work for my company and join our team. And then if the video looks good, then I'll hop on an interview call with them. But if the video doesn't look good, then I just don't even hop on the call and just completely reject it, and I'll just never really respond. Sometimes I'll respond back to them if they sent me like a long video and it looked decent, because maybe whatever, this person will develop in the future, and we put them on like a back burner list. But that is the process that we go through. And then on the interview, this is what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for these traits, and I'm asking these questions. It's actually like 30 or 40 questions, but it just took like 8 or 9 of the most important ones. So hopefully this helps you scale your agency and hire the right person. I can't tell you how important this is. It took me years to be able to just like realize how freaking important people are in your agency. And the reason why I realized this is because it just like hit me, just like punched me in the face when the account executive I hired a year ago, in the last like 4 months or like 5 months, in the last like 7 days, she's closed 3 clients in the last like 7 days, and 3 or 4, something like that, 7 to 10 days. And in the last like 3 months or 4 months, she's closed, I don't know how many, like 6 or 7 or even maybe 8 deals total. And this is a lot of money, new monthly recurring revenue that has come in because of this person. And yes, I've put some training into this person, but compared to how much time and energy it would take me to produce those clients myself, opposed to just this person producing those clients for the agency, I was like, oh my God, this is insane. I can hire an account executive, they can manage the clients, they can also sign their own clients, they can sign clients that the agency gives them, or manage clients that the agency gives them, and like they can become their own self-sufficient, independent, like mini agency owner within our agency where they feel independent, and they can actually make a large amount of money, like $10, $12, $14, $15,000, $20,000 a month, and they can come in and just like be their own independent thing in this vehicle of personal development. And so anyways, that is what really made me come to a realization that, holy crap, we need to get more people, because once you get one account executive who grows your agency or doubles your agency or increases your monthly recurring revenue by $10,000 to $20,000 per month, it starts to turn some gears in your brain. You start thinking, if I can do this with one person, I can do this with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. And that's how we're going to get to, $500,000 a month, $1 million a month in the next 2 to 3 years. And if we keep going down this road, we keep investing into people, we're going to get there, right? You're the average of basically the team that you have in the company, and of course the systems which that team is going to be built. So hopefully you found this video valuable. Not really much of a video for somebody who's looking to start an agency, more so if you have an agency already. But hit that subscribe button below. Let me know your thoughts by giving me a comment in the section. If you had a question or something, just let me know in the comments. Or if you had a future recommendation for a future video, put that in the comment section below. If you want help scaling your agency, you want to know more about the program that I built 6 months ago that I think about 30 agency owners have gone through so far, you can just check out the website taylorventure.com. But if not, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week on Monday. Ciao.